a punch or a slap? Big difference. Here you go. Fighting. What is fighting? This is right out of the rule book. What is fighting? Any attempt by a player or non-player to strike or engage a player or non-player in a combative manner unrelated to football. Unrelated to football. Such acts include but not limited to attempts to strike an opponent with arms, hands, legs, or feet, whether or not there is contact. It's right out of the rule book. There's a definition for fighting right out of the rule book. Remember that as we move forward in tonight's presentation. Here's the next bullet point I want everybody to, there's your penalty, 15 yards disqualification. All right, here's your next, what's an unsportsmanlike? What is that? Baiting or taunting, profanity or vulgar gesture, excessive, prolonged act to draw attention upon self, kicking a dead ball, leaving the field between downs to deceive, refusing to comply with officials' request, alcohol or tobacco. This includes e-cigarettes. Has anybody ever seen an e-cigarette out there? But they actually added that to the rule. I'm wondering what year they added that to the rule, but that's no e-cigarettes either. Unsportsmanlike continued. This is when a ball becomes dead. If it's intentionally kicked, spike the ball, throw the ball high into the air, intentionally fail to place the ball on the ground or immediately return to official. Dead ball, 15 yards. If they get 2, they're DQ'd. All right, so that's unsportsmanlike. So we know what fighting is. We know what unsportsmanlike is right out of the rule book. Okay, so that's going to come into play here in our next couple of plays. So let's get to them. And now we're back to the polling. So you can go back to polling on this one. First one, let me get this one. This is play 3. You should see play 3 in the poll. It's about 2nd and 6. All this action is gonna be focused on the bottom of the screen. So the quarterback rolls to the left. You can see what's coming down here. Now the quarterback's out of bounds, and I want you to focus a little bit to their left. There's 2 linemen who are still playing. They're still playing. Now watch all this action in the dead ball. All right, here we go. I'm going to play it again so you can see it. The poll is active. We're asking questions. We've got blue player, white player. Okay? The blue player's engaged, white player's engaged. We've got action there. We've got action here. We've got more action. Okay? Here we go. I'll show it one more time. You can take the poll. We're asking, after this last one, I'll tell you exactly what we're asking. I'm going to hide the results. All right. So now we got that. So let's go to the poll. We're asking, is this a punch by the blue player and a DQ? A punch by the white player and a DQ. Both players are DQ'd for fighting. UNR only, or UNR only by one, or both players. Okay, UNR, just UNR, not a UNS, a UNR, just no DQs here, just a regular UNR either by one or both of the players. No foul or none of the choices. All right, 13 people have responded. We're going to play one more time. Here we go, just so everybody can see it. And then we'll walk through it. Well, first we'll see how everybody is going to do, and then we'll walk through it. Here we go, one more time. Action here, action there, action here, action there. All right, let's see. We got 23 people. I like that. That's a good number. All right, there you go. Let's see. Let's show the results. All right, both players DQ for fighting, 58%. UNR only. That did a lot better than I thought it would do. 29%. Okay. Punch by blue player, punch by white player, none of these. 4%, none of these. I'd like to know, if you said none of these and you're willing to comment, tell me why. Tell me why you've got it as none of these, because it's definitely not none of these. It's gonna be one of these, I would think. All right, so I'll start out with, let's go with Mike on this one. Mike, just give me a quick synopsis on just what you saw and how you would handle it. How would you handle a play like this?
Well, you want to get in as close to those guys as you can and get that whistle blowing as close to their ear hole as you can, so that you can try to nip this in the bud before White retaliated. Because It's pretty clear to me that Blue's side area, once they got out of bounds, the blue player instigated any of the actions. He slapped the kid in the face mask, and then the kid in white responds by slugging him back. So it looks like it could have been stopped earlier if people had recognized it, but it's always difficult because the umpire is probably going to be the one who has to get over there. The wing official has a run that goes out of bounds right in front of him, and those players are on the other side. If a deep can get in there, but basically, I see a player instigating. I see the other player retaliating. They're both still guilty, even if he retaliated, even if he felt like he was defending himself. He can't just punch a guy.
What do you got? Are you going UNR?
Oh
Are you
yeah,
going
it's both.
DQs?
No, both. I'm going both fighting. Yes,
Both fighting.
I don't have a very high threshold for fighting. I think when kids are fighting, they need to be flagged for fighting and put an end to it. I've had games go out of control when we don't do that.
Okay, so you're going with that. Bill, what about you? You think this is are you going one punch, two punch, no punch? What are you going with that?
I went with the blue player with the punch. I'm not saying the white player didn't do anything. I maybe I missed his punch, but I see himself more protecting himself with hands up. I didn't see a punch, but if he did, then he goes too. But I just had the blue player.
All right, so you're going the blue player here, okay, and then we got that action there. Okay, so you've got the one. All right, that's fine. Robert, what do you got? Are you going one DQ, two DQ, no DQ, or which way are you going?
I voted that I need to get the player numbers. So you keep replaying it, and I'm trying to get the player numbers. I have to have player numbers for me to disqualify. If I have both those player numbers, I have 2 disqualifications, 1 for each team. But I need those numbers.
Well, you probably would if you were on the field.
Yeah.
But that's fair. But the action that you saw, as long as you have the numbers and you can see them, you're going to go with DQ. Okay.
But that's so vitally important, though. We have to make sure we get the correct numbers.
Right. I don't disagree with that at all. You need to make sure you have the right person. But I'm going to walk through this play. There's a lot that's going on in this play. All right. More so than even what we were asking. All right. Here we go. Now, just a normal play. There's nothing really anything. All right. So here's where it starts. Let's look at mechanically. All right. So we have our line judge here, and this is a crew of 7. So now at this point, there should be somebody coming because it's out of bounds. You got action. You should see out of the left of your screen another official. You don't really see that official. You've got an umpire at the top to the left. He's kind of off the screen a little bit. You got a referee. This is one of those where they need to be headed that way too. Now, if you've got a side judge coming in or a line or a field judge, doesn't matter, right now, or even a back judge in a crew of 5, with a verbal presence right here, you're probably going to avoid some of this. So now, that doesn't look like a punch. Looking at it again, it looks like a slap. And not to split hairs, if you've got this as a punch, it's fine. But I'm just saying, it's open-handed. Right here, you see, it's kind of a slap. It's an open-hand slap. So that's a UNR, for sure. It's definitely a UNR. I still don't have an official here, okay? So UNR for sure. Now here comes the second part. All right, there's still no official either from a back judge or the line judge finally decides that he's going to just give up the spot. As officials, we need to be more active here, especially when we're seeing that. Now there's that second one by 95. There's your number, Robert. 95. White 95. Player number 95. So here we go. Now that is a forearm, but did he cut? Was it like a cross punch? Did he? Because it doesn't matter if he hits or not. Remember, we said that. So there's a slap. Boom, boom. Are you going to go punch? If you got that a punch, that's fine. But then you need to know that was a punch. Okay? But let's continue to watch what's going on here. We only have one official. We don't have any officials involved in this. There's nobody there. The line judge finally has a sense of urgency. Here, finally, the deep official comes in. Where's the back judge? Watch what happens now. He walks right by this. Now look, there's still players down here, that there's some stuff going on. We don't have other guys directing people away, moving people away. Now look what happens after this player gets down here. Look what happens. Look him to the left. You've got other players coming in. I don't know if you see him over to the left. This guy's coming in as well. Now look what happens. Uh-oh. Oh, we got a double whammy. Here you go. You're number one, 2 number ones. Well, that's not what he's saying, even though it looks like they're number ones. And nobody sees this, by the way. There is no official that's looking at this right now. And look, they're all kind of jibber jabbing. They're pointing at him, and they're looking now at number 10 and 3 on the sideline. What are they doing? Nobody's looking at this, okay? So here's the point of this. You've got to be there to understand what's going on, but I wanted to break it down mechanically because if we were on this game together, I would want to have a better presence. I would want to show a little bit more sense of urgency, and Mike made that point. If we get there and we have that verbal presence, we talked about this in our clinic with Marlo Fitzgerald. If we have that verbal presence, then guess what? We're going to probably prevent this.